12.2 Introduction. School counseling has emerged over a century ago as a result of various socio-political, economic and cultural changes in the Western society. Similar trends seem to have shaped up school counseling or guidance all over the world, including India. Counseling, or particularly, school counseling in India, is still in its infancy stage. School counseling addresses the needs and concerns of all school students. Modern-day living, globalization, economic reforms, evolving gender roles, changes in the family structure, changing socio-cultural norms and issues such as increase in divorce, single parenting, substance use etc. have led to various emotional, social, vocational, and mental health problems in India, especially in the last decade. Counseling at the school level can play a significant role in addressing the developmental dilemmas, concerns and various problems of school-going children and adolescents and promoting mental health in a community setting. This has the advantage of reaching a larger target group, has mainly a preventive approach, but also follows a remedial approach in taking care of the specific problems faced by the school students coming from diverse socio-cultural contexts. Since career selection and preparation occupies a central place in any student's life, career counseling has also become crucial in the school context, especially in view of new and emerging career opportunities, emphasis on technology and the digital era. The present unit thus examines the nature and scope of school and career counseling, the role of the counselor in this context and the theoretical paradigms with specific reference to the Indian context. 12.3 School counseling. The profession of school counseling evolved in the late 1800s as an outcome of the Industrial Revolution and the vocational guidance movement. This movement prepared young people mainly for getting into the world of work. Thus earlier the school counselors were typically vocational counselors who guided students toward employment. However, the role of school counselors have widened to include other aspects of functioning along with the vocational and career counseling. It is not limited to addressing only the guidance needs of the students, but also provides counseling related to various areas. Further, it focuses on addressing the needs of the individual students at the micro level, catering to groups of students at the meso level, and also collaborating with school management / authority on policy issues at the macro level. 12.3.1 Importance of school counseling. Students come from different family backgrounds and contexts which have shaped their personality and development in particular ways. Some are ready to take up the academic challenge, whereas some are not school ready. As they continue in school, they may face problems in adjusting and decrease in performance. Since school is another important environment in a child's life besides home where they need to learn to be independent, a feeling of safety, acceptance and connectedness is crucial for the child to grow, develop, take initiative, perform and excel in varied fields. This highlights the importance of school counseling. Schools are uniquely placed to facilitate the growth and development of growing children. It offers an independent setting, and at the same time a community context where there is a dynamic interaction among students, teachers and the parents aimed at optimal development of children. Research has shown that school counselors and counseling interventions given in school environments significantly impact students' educational and personal development. School counseling assumes significance due to following: it offers a community setting. It acts as a protective factor for such children who may be from adverse background and environments. It offers a feeling of safety and promotes a sense of belongingness through its different activities. It is a system in place aiming at the optimal development and well-being of the child. It can be considered as a training ground for children to prepare for a successful personal, social and career life ahead. The important thing here is for the school management and authorities to understand the crucial role of school counselors and accordingly make provisions for counseling activities and facilitate the counselors to undertake different activities related to this. 12.3.2 Role of the school counselor. School counselor have varied roles related to the student's academic achievement, career development as well as personal social development. In fact, the school counseling service aims at the overall development of children through a comprehensive guidance and counseling program. It helps them acquire effective learning skills, improve academic performance, and develop career aspirations. It facilitates in better adjustment and interpersonal skills, dealing with emotional and behavioral problems, and promotion of mental health and well-being. Broadly, school counseling can be said to perform three general functions. 1. Educative function, helps in the overall development of students in the context of the school. 2. Reactive function, looks into how the classroom practices, different aspects of the school environment and the socio-cultural environment of the school impact the students and contribute to their personal social development and mental health. 3. Welfare function, addresses issues that impact students' welfare and takes responsibility to plan for the welfare of students. According to the Manual of Policies, Procedures and Guidelines of the Special Education Services of British Columbia, the counselor has the following roles: promotes personal and social development appropriate to developmental level. Counsels students, their families and the community to foster growth in the student's self-esteem, individual responsibility, and in skills such as decision-making and social skills. Ameliorates factors which may precipitate problems for students, enhances students' educational achievement through goal setting, individualized education plans and activities such as promotion of effective work and study habits. Provides appropriate interventions to assist students with school-related problems and issues. Facilitates the goals of career education by assisting students and their families to explore and clarify the students' career options, through developmental activities that emphasize decision-making, personal planning and career awareness. Historically, the role of school counselors have evolved from simply vocational guidance for the students to occupying a central place in the school system and being an important link in the school between the students, school authorities and the parents, with an ultimate goal of student welfare. In a study on school administrators' conceptions of the school counselor's role, 4 role conceptions have been explained historically, from the most contemporary version of the counselor role to the most traditional one. These are as follows: the innovative school leader. The school counselor in the role of an innovative school leader looks at things from the perspectives of all the stakeholders, students, parents, school staff, school management and community members involved in various school committees. They have a macro view of the school goals and vision. They take steps to plan and provide different activities for the development of students, and training the school staff for effective teacher-student engagement. The collaborative case consultant. This role requires the counselor to have specialized knowledge about the social, emotional, psychological, and academic needs of students, and plan necessary intervention strategies for them. The school counselor works with significant adults in a student's life, parents and teachers, to make them aware and equipped to address the concerns of individual students. The responsive direct service provider. School counselors are required to provide direct service in meeting the needs of individual students by regularly providing preventative programs of psychoeducational nature, information related to educational and career guidance aspects, and by helping students resolve problems or crises. The administrative team player. In this role, the The school counselor is considered as a member of the administrative team and engaged as a support in various administrative responsibilities and other tasks, for example, preparing an event schedule, coordinating activities, involved in placement activity, serving as a substitute teacher, etc. Thus the main job of using their specialized knowledge for the benefit of students' well-being and creating a conducive school environment gets neglected. The innovative school leader role is the most contemporary of the four groupings. This typology of possible roles by school counselors points at analyzing and reflecting on the current role they are performing, the expectation of the school management and the desirable role the school counselors need to play. 12.3.3 Ethics in School Counseling. School counselors need to work with school teachers and school authorities on the one hand, and the parents and community-level organizations on the other hand, in an attempt to create a conducive school environment at school as well as home to promote the growth and well-being of children. They need to interact and collaborate with all the stakeholders with the main focus of promoting learning, achievement, adjustment and well-being of students. In the process, they may face ethical issues, dilemmas and challenges coordinating and catering to the needs of all. There may be problems related to confidentiality of student information. The school counselor also needs to build trust with all stakeholders to function effectively for student benefit. Many a times, school counselors are also required to perform administrative tasks and other tasks such as taking substitute classes, giving tests to students, maintaining records, assisting school principal and other teachers, etc., which are not related to counseling. This may lead to conflicting situations and may leave the counselor too exhausted and deprived of time to focus on the main task of providing counseling support to the students. Hence, the school counselors need to know and understand the ethical issues in their functioning so that they can keep their focus on their priority, that is the students. As Huey states, the ethical responsibility is to the client first and the school, or other setting, second. Thus protecting the rights of the students should be the first task of the counselor in any dilemma or conflict situation. The school counselor also needs to be cautious about ethical issues in the emerging use of online medium for counseling. Technology may facilitate online counseling, but it has its pitfalls also that one needs to be aware of. Client information needs to be protected in the online media. 12.4 Scope of school counseling. School counseling mainly focuses on offering a comprehensive program for all school students. It needs to follow a strengths-based approach, highlighting the strengths of each child rather than focusing on the deficits. The major areas of work of school counselors relate to academic, career, and personal social functioning. The American School Counselor Association, ASCA, also conceptualizes academic achievement, career planning, and personal and social development as the three main functions of school counselors. Since school counseling caters to all students, the scope can include counseling at the elementary level, secondary and senior secondary level. The National Curriculum Framework advocates specific activities related to guidance and counseling at each of these three stages. Children at each stage have unique characteristics, developmental tasks and skills to learn. School counselors need to address these specifically at each stage of education to facilitate healthy growth and development, necessary cognitive skills, effective coping skills, better adjustment, and a resilient attitude. The Government of India has implemented the Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan, SSA, Universalization of Elementary Education, 2000 to 2001, Rashtriya Madhyamik Shiksha Abhiyan, RMSA, focusing on secondary level of education, 2009 to 2010, and Rashtriya Uchhatar Shiksha Abhiyan, RUSA, focusing on higher education level, in 2012. All these schemes have aimed at providing increased access, equity and quality to students at each stage of education, along with providing necessary skills and resources to facilitate optimal development and learning experience among students. The RMSA describes school education in terms of primary stage, 5 to 11 years, upper primary stage, 11 to 14 years, and secondary/higher secondary stage, 14 to 18 years. Primary and upper primary combined is also called as elementary stage. Secondary and higher secondary stage can also be considered separately. RMSA has provided guidelines for providing guidance and counseling to students at different stages of education. 12.4.1 Counseling at elementary stage of education. Elementary stage consists of both primary and upper primary classes, that is class 1 to 5 and from class 6 to 8 respectively. Primary school stage is crucial as there is a transition from the familiar home environment to a new school environment. The child is expected to gradually learn to function independently in the school setting and interact effectively with peer and teachers and others around. The focus here is to make the transition smooth for the child and develop a positive image of the school in the child so that the child feels welcome in the school and learns effectively. Hence, joyful learning and playway method become the most crucial methods here. During the elementary stage, the school emphasizes on the development of learning skills, cognitive skills and nurturing an interest to learn, engage in creative pursuits. As the children are in the growing stage, the objective is to facilitate a healthy development in all aspects such as cognitive, social, and affective, develop a healthy self-concept, attitudes and cultivate good habits and values. Thus, school counseling during elementary stage focuses on the following: smooth transition from home to school, helping children to continue in school and prevent dropout, providing assistance and support to children from disadvantaged backgrounds, helping children with special needs learn and adjust to school environment, facilitate acquisition of basic learning skills, effective interpersonal relationships with teachers and peers, preventing and dealing with behavioral problems in children, developing a healthy self-esteem in the child, building healthy perception and attitude towards various things, learning different life skills, awareness about the world of work. 12.4.2 Counseling at the secondary stage of education. Secondary stage includes classes 9th and 10th. This marks the adolescence stage, which is associated with lots of changes in physical, cognitive and emotional development of students. Along with increasing pressure now to perform better academically, these students need counseling to help understand these changes in developmental aspects and adjust effectively to themselves and their surrounding. The transition from childhood to adolescence stage can become a major challenge for the students. The school counseling services can undertake different activities and strategies to ease this process of transition, where parents and home environment are also taken into account. Most students begin to consciously think about the courses they would take up in the higher secondary stage and the future career they want to get in. They actively explore various options. A systematic guidance and counseling system can help them explore themselves and the world of work to facilitate their choice of subjects and career. The specific objectives of school counseling during the secondary stage of education can be as follows: help students adjust with the sudden changes in their physical growth and development, help them deal with the emotional changes during the transition phase, forming a healthy peer relationship, adjusting to the academic pressure, facilitating the relationship between the student and their parents, helping them understand and develop their assets /strengths. 12.4.3 Counseling at the higher secondary stage of education. The higher secondary stage consists of classes 11th and 12th, called as the senior students in the school. They consider themselves to be more independent and look forward to a more carefree life after school completion. At the same time, they may be unsure of which courses to go for in college, getting into their choice of colleges and courses and starting a new life marked by less discipline and more flexibility. For some students, it may be the concern of getting into some source of earning, or taking up a vocational course so that they can start earning soon. There is an increasing interest in the opposite sex during this developmental stage of 16 to 18 years of age. Peer pressure can have both positive and negative impact during this stage. Peers can motivate and inspire to study or do different things together. They can be a significant source of emotional support. However, peer pressure can be a concern if it influences the student negatively, for example, engaging in bullying, bunking classes, smoking, using drugs, etc. Counseling at the higher secondary stage thus aims at the following: dealing with the academic pressure to get good marks and pass successfully, getting into good colleges and courses of study, enhancing self-understanding in terms of one's interests, aptitudes, attitudes and abilities, developing career maturity and making realistic career choices, learning to handle negative peer pressure, ways to cope with stress and ensure good mental health, learning appropriate sex role and responsibility, developing healthy relationship with opposite sex, preventing bullying, substance use, interpersonal conflicts with peer, parents, and teachers / authorities, helping to create life goals and visions. 12.5 School counselling in India. Education policies and commissions established in India have been emphasizing the importance of counselling in school setup. The first Education Commission, known as the Secondary Education Commission or Madhya Commission, 1952-53, recognized guidance in school as an integral part of education, and consequently, the government established the Central Bureau of Educational and Vocational Guidance, BAPCH, in 1954. However, the limited focus on vocational guidance was changed when the next Education Commission, called as the Khatri Commission, 1964-66, highlighted the adjustive and developmental functions of guidance also, along with academic and career guidance. It considered the guidance and counseling needs of children at different stages of school education, such as primary and secondary stage. Further, it delineated a minimum guidance program for all secondary schools and a comprehensive model guidance program in selected schools. Training of guidance functionaries and counselors was also highlighted. All teachers should have basic counseling skills to listen to pupils in an unbiased way and to respond in the emotional domain. This promoted a focus on student-teacher interactions and the formation of good relationships between them. School counseling emerged as a more specialist activity where a teacher or counselor worked with groups or at an individual level in greater depth. Various initiatives were taken to train teachers to improve the development of counseling skills. Thus, the focus of school counseling was providing intervention and prevention services catering to student development. The role of school counselor diversified to providing support for personal, emotional, social development, and dealing with behavioral and mental health related problems. The National Policy of Education also highlighted the need of guidance for school students. National Curriculum for School Education advocated the adoption of a guidance philosophy to education which facilitates taking a proactive and preventive approach for the personal, social, emotional, cognitive development of all students. Learning of life skills were emphasized which would equip the child with skills necessary to live life in an effective manner. Recent national policy on education has ushered in many major changes in the field of education in India. It has put emphasis on monitoring the mental health and well-being of students as part of regular health check-up. The schools need to take up the responsibility of making school counseling an integral part of the school system and culture. Thus it can be seen that the need for guidance and counseling, and focus on mental health and all-round development of school children has always been recognized and emphasized at the policy level. However, acceptance of counseling services by the general population has been very slow. It points at the gap between policies and guidelines, and the actual implementation of these in the field. It indicates a requirement for an attitudinal change in accepting and approaching guidance and counseling services for all students. An all-school approach to guidance and counseling program will help fight the hesitation, resistance and stigma attached to it. Advocacy is also required to highlight the psychological health of students as being equally important as physical health. The need for counseling in schools in India is surely seen to be on the rise, with an increase in the number of suicides of school children, incidences of bullying, drug abuse, decline in academic performance. School counseling is a relatively young profession in the Indian context. The first school mental health clinic was set up at Nair Hospital in Mumbai in 1979. The Secondary Education Department have mandated the presence of a school counsellor in every school in central schools in India, run by the Kendriya Vidyalaya Sangathan, to deal with academic and non-academic issues of students from 2014. The government of Delhi has started the happiness curriculum in schools since 2018 for classes from nursery to class 8th. Various initiatives and provisions are being implemented for addressing the counseling needs of school children. School counseling is often considered as guidance and limited mostly to selection of courses and careers. However, it may be noted that counseling has a more facilitative and curative function as compared to the developmental and informative orientation of guidance. Both guidance and counseling are necessary in Indian schools today. The role of a school counselor extends beyond school students to parents of students, who may also feel the need of availing these counseling services to deal with issues stemming from their role as socialization agents. Teachers and counselors provide important sources of information on mental health. In a study to investigate knowledge, attitudes and practices related to mental health carried out in 5 states in India, the researchers found that teachers and counselors were influential in their ability to affect and encourage help-seeking behavior. NSET plays a crucial role here by training teachers through its intensive and comprehensive Diploma in Guidance and Counseling course. The course helps the teachers in understanding the guidance and counseling needs of children at various stages of education and developing an enabling school environment that empowers students towards positive change. 12.6 Career Counseling. School counseling involves career counseling, but given its importance in the life of an individual, it has become a specialized service in itself. Although it is considered as a separate service, career has implications for all other areas of our life, and hence career counseling needs to be viewed in relation to other types of counseling also. For instance, personal social issues faced by adolescent students that require counseling can also affect career-related choices and decisions. Career counseling also needs to consider any relationship issues or emotional difficulties faced by students, as they can affect career-related attitude and decisions. Self-awareness can also influence the career maturity level of students. Thus, development in cognitive, emotional and social aspects can impact their career maturity, decisions and career adjustment and growth. Personal and career counseling are thus inextricably intertwined. Hence it is important that school counseling takes an integrated approach to counseling students in different aspects, but at the same time gives due emphasis to career counseling services for the benefit of the students. Counseling profession initially started with emphasis on vocational guidance and counseling. Frank Parsons, the father of guidance, who started the vocational guidance movement, emphasized on preparing for a vocation rather than just focusing on getting into a job. He highlighted understanding the process of career selection and decision. One's occupation occupies a central place in one's life and affects all aspects of life. Hence it is important that we select our careers with informed knowledge and proper planning and goals. This makes it imperative that proper counseling is provided to the students at the school level itself so that they chart out their career path in an adequate way. 12.6.1 Nature of career counseling. What does career counseling involve? It is important to distinguish a few terms here that are often used interchangeably with career. Career is a broader term than vocation. It indicates a career path over the lifespan of the individual, and thus takes into account one's work as well as leisure and other life roles. Whereas job is a specific task one does to earn money. Occupation is broader than job, indicating a group of similar jobs. At a basic level, career counseling involves three things: knowing about the world of work, developing awareness about oneself, and then matching the two and accordingly decide on a career. However, career counseling involves going beyond this simplistic matching and views career as a central factor affecting all other aspects and roles in life. Hence it considers career counseling as a process of developing a life career and takes into account the life as a whole. The underlying premise here is that various factors shape the career chart of a person, and both personal and work factors interact with each other to determine career satisfaction and success. For instance, McDaniel's formula C=W+L, career = work plus leisure, highlights the importance of one's leisure time activities, interest, hobbies etc. in one's career decisions. Other factors having an influence on career selection are age, gender, socioeconomic background, resource availability, parental influence, peer pressure etc. It needs to be noted here that career counseling involves both career guidance as well as counseling. As you must be clear by now that guidance is more information-oriented, developmental in nature and educative in purpose, whereas counseling is more remedial in nature and involves changes in one's thoughts, affect and behavior, learning to adjust, adapt and cope with people and situations. Hence, as part of career guidance, career counselor can help the student become well informed about various educational and occupational opportunities, and can provide counseling how one's career choices are influenced by their specific personal and environmental factors and help the student make proper career choice. The goals of career counseling can thus be described as follows: collection of career information literature related to educational, training and occupational aspects. Developing awareness about skill training and enhancing one's career prospects and avenues. Dissemination of the career information or career data through display, career talks, invited lectures, career fairs, exhibitions and conferences, field visits. Conducting psychological testing, assessment of students regarding their interests, aptitude, attitude, values and personality. Counseling parents on career-related choices. Doing individual counseling as well as group guidance and counseling related to career choices. Helping children with special needs in their career-related and personal emotional social issues and difficulties as these are interrelated. Helping develop individualized career plans for students who need it. Facilitating the development of career maturity, work-related values, discipline and decision-making skills. helping the students to learn ways to cope with stress, resolve conflicts and acquire effective interpersonal skills. Thus, career counseling involves not only the assessment of an individual's interests, abilities, aptitudes, personality, and values, to facilitate them in selecting appropriate educational programs or suggesting occupational choices, but also emphasizing on the individual's life career path or development. It aims at equipping them with necessary knowledge and skills to deal with life's situations and progress in one's career while maintaining a life-career balance. A preventive positive focus is essential to help individuals develop and use their strengths to create a better world for themselves and for the society. They stated that individuals need to identify their strengths and move towards balance in their lives. An essential characteristic of a happy and productive life is a sense of balance in one's views and actions. 12.6.2 The structure of career counseling. As in any counseling situation, the relationship between the career counselor and the client is important, which needs to be characterized by warmth, genuineness, empathy and unconditional positive regard. Establishing the rapport is the first crucial step in career counseling. The next task is to consider a way to organize the working sessions of clients and counselors in career counseling. The structure of career counseling can be described in two major phases: 1. Problem identification, clarification, and specification. The first task is to establish a rapport between the client and the counselor. The client-counselor relationship is defined. The roles and responsibilities of each are clarified. Informed consent is taken and other ethical guidelines are adhered to. The counselor listens to the presenting problems of the client, their internal thoughts, feelings, concerns and anxieties. Psychological tests are also used to get additional data about the client's attitude, behavior and personality. The counselor attempts to understand the client's ways of making sense out of their life roles, preferred decision-making styles, interpretation of events in their life so that a mutual understanding can be developed. This facilitates further process of goal setting and intervention. 2. Client goal or problem resolution. Using theoretical paradigms and research-based interventions, the client is assisted to achieve their goals or respond to their problems. A working alliance is formed and various strategies are employed to achieve the mutually decided goals. The environmental factors are also considered in this process as facilitating or hindering the intervention process. The outcomes are thus evaluated and intervention strategies are re-looked into. Finally, once the goals are attained, the counselor-client relationship is terminated. 12.7 Theories of career development. 4 major theories on career development are described here that explain how do we choose our careers and how our careers develop over the lifespan, requiring us to make adjustments as we progress. 12.7.1 Trait and factor theory. As the name suggests, the theory talks about assessing the traits of the individual and matching these with the factors or characteristics of various occupations. A proper fit between the two will lead to career satisfaction in the individual. Holland has emphasized the interrelation between career requirements and personal qualities and accordingly came up with 6 categories of personality and associated occupations. These are realistic, investigative, artistic, social, enterprising, and conventional, risk. The theory emphasizes the uniqueness of the individual in the way these personalities interact in an individual. The counselor gets a profile of the client indicated by a 3-letter code on administering the test to the client based on this model. It may be, for example, IES, that is, the person is most similar to investigative type of personality, then enterprising type and then social type. These three interact and determine the personality makeup of the individual to influence their career selection and adjustment. Career counselors help the client in analyzing their personality types in relation to the suitable occupations related to these in the context of other factors such as developmental stage, socioeconomic conditions, etc. The model also shows the underlying dimensions as indicated in the diagram above, all of which interact to influence the career choice of the person. 12.7.2 Developmental theories. One of the most widely used developmental theories is that of Super, who described career development in terms of the development of one's vocational self-concept. Vocational self-concept refers to perceiving one's own vocationally relevant attitudes, values, needs and abilities. According to Super, matching of this vocational self-concept with the one's nature of work is important for effective career decisions. He suggested 5 stages of vocational development such as A. Growth. Birth. 14 years. Focus here is on developing a general orientation and awareness about the world of work. B. Exploration. 14 to 24 years. There is exploration of the world of work and various career preferences. Either individuals take up some short-term assignments, internships or projects, or they get into proper jobs. C. Establishment. 24 to 44 years. The individual here attempts to establish themselves in the chosen occupation. They get promotions, new job positions and roles, or may change organizations, but they stay in the same area of occupations. Mostly, there is no major change to a different occupation or career. D. Maintenance. 44 to 64 years. Focus is on maintenance of what has been achieved in the career. So there is little or no venturing into new grounds. But sometimes they need to learn new things to keep themselves viable and contributing. For instance, the current COVID-19 pandemic necessitated learning of new technology, conducting online classes by teachers in the schools in India. Hence, learning new things, being innovative is required to be able to perform their usual duties. E. Decline. 64 years and above. This stage is characterized mostly by retirement age. So work-related activities decline and there is disengagement from work. The individual develops other interests and activities to engage themselves in. Super has later formulated a rainbow theory based on his career development theory, which takes into account 8 roles that we play, such as child, student, leisureite, citizen, worker, parent, spouse, and homemaker, and the 5 life stages mentioned above. It helps us in analyzing our work-life balance, how much time we are spending for our personal life and work life, which is significant for our good mental health and well-being. 12.7.3 Social Cognitive Career Theory, SCCT. Social Cognitive Career Theory is based on Albert Bandura's general social cognitive theory. The theory developed by Lent, Brown and Hackett suggests that there is an interaction between the social environmental aspects including one's age, gender, health conditions etc. and the individual cognitive characteristics. The 3 important aspects of the SCCT are self-efficacy beliefs, outcome expectations and goals. Self-efficacy, i.e., one's belief in oneself to be able to perform a particular task or activity. Outcome expectation is beliefs about the outcome or consequence of performing the activity. Thus your belief about your ability to do a task and the outcome you expect out of doing it will influence your effort and persistence in doing it and your experience of success in it. Goals refers to setting a target of acquiring a certain level of achievement, performance goals, or accomplishing something, like completing a degree. Choice goals. Goals set by an individual are influenced by beliefs of self-efficacy and outcome expectation. There is a dynamic interaction among these three components which ultimately influence the development of career interests, career selection, career adjustment and success. 12.7.4 Constructivist Career Theory. Constructivist career theory focuses mainly on deriving meaning in one's career. Career counselor helps the client in understanding and interpreting the life themes of the client, that is, the meaning and purpose in client's life, values the client lives by and the self-concept they have. The choice of career evolves out of understanding of their own self-concept, based on their own learnings, experiences and behavior. Career counseling based on the constructivist theory attempts to assign meaning to one's vocational behavior and experiences. It tries to understand and give meaning and direction to what one has done or engaged in and arriving at the why of a career. Thus the theory is subjective in nature as it involves imposing personal meaning on past memories, present experiences, and future aspirations by weaving them into a pattern that portrays a life theme. 12.8 Career Counselling in India. Career counselling is being recognized more in India at present as compared to the earlier times. Career counselling is provided to the students in secondary and higher secondary stage, especially in the bigger cities. However, it may not be in a comprehensive manner and there are many instances of wrong choice of careers and career dissatisfaction. Selection of subjects /stream at the higher secondary stage and career-related decisions are a major source of stress for students as well as parents. Various factors may influence the lack of awareness and or understanding about the importance of career counseling in India. Family decisions play a major role in career decisions. Preference for being in a safer zone instead of changing a job despite of dissatisfaction and suffering in the job. The attraction towards job security of a gift job. Attitude of seeing career as a means to earn money only. Poor risk-taking and fear of adjusting to new environment in case of a change in job. Glorifying a few careers only as worth pursuing for example, science, engineering, medicine, management, and discounting one's own interests and aptitude as relevant and important factors worth considering and pursuing careers in. Lack of proper career counseling has implications for the mental health of students. There is increase in competition resulting in stress, anxiety, depression and even suicide. Added to it the parental pressure and the requirement of coping to the academic pressure from school and the coaching center where students compulsorily enroll to be on the edge, affects their mental health negatively. At present, however, various initiatives have been taken by the GAPCH as well as non-governmental organizations for career counseling to students. National Career Service, NCS, launched in 2015 by the Government of India, is a major step in this regard. 12.9 Let us sum up. In the present unit, you learned about how school counseling can impact and promote the all-round development of students, serving both preventive and remedial functions. It has roles to play at the micro level, meso level as well as macro level. The scope of school counseling covering all the stages of education, the elementary, secondary and higher secondary is discussed. An important area covered by school counseling is providing counseling with regard to career selection. Careers are individual specific and influenced by the choices we make with regard to different aspects in our lives. Both personal and environmental related factors influence our career-related decisions. The nature of career counseling is elucidated and various pertinent theories of career development are explained. Career development and decisions are more holistic in nature as it involves the whole person, their needs, wants, skills, abilities, emotions, fear, anxieties etc. Hence it needs to be duly emphasized in the school context by having a systematic and properly organized process of career guidance and counseling, which will help reduce a lot of anxieties and stress among students and their parents. The unit also highlighted the Indian context in the discussion of school counseling and career counseling.